Hey everybody, it's Cody, Dixon RC here. So we are finally going to drive the Komodo, the G-Made Komodo double cab kit. As you see, this thing is set here for so long, the tires are starting to turn that milky white because it's been sitting for so long. So we're finally going to do something with it. We're finally going to do some running. We're going to install the Hobbywing Fusion 2-in-1 brushless system in it as well, because I want to have this in it and show you guys how well this thing actually works. I've seen a lot of behind the scenes footage of this thing and how it seems to be running, and I've seen a lot of other people post so far that it seems to be working out really well. So we're going to put it in the Komodo. I figure why not. This has got plans for something towards in a couple of months that I'm going to do with it, that this body's no longer going to be used anymore, so I'm going to need something that doesn't have so many extra things. I don't need an ESC around and stuff like that. So we're going to do that. I'm going to show you how to install this. We're going to keep the stock pinion in it for now, and we'll go over what I'm going to do for settings wise on the program card, because this one does not have as many programmable things as the AX system does. The AX system has way more things you can change and stuff like that. So just hang tight. We're going to install this thing and then we'll do some driving. All right, so here we go. So I've already got the receiver box off. I had this off to test. I was testing something else. So what we're going to do is remove all these electronics here. Not necessarily what I really, I wasn't really planning on doing this. I kind of wanted to try and test out this Charisma ESC, but we'll put it in something else and try it out on that. So we'll do that. Unhook this. Go in here and unhook these. Excuse my hands being really, really dirty. I just got done working on my Jeep, so it was changing the oil pan gasket and stuff, so it was pretty dirty. So I cleaned them up the best I could. So let's pop this off of here. There we go. Move the ESC out of the way. So let's take off the I'm not going to use it. I'm going to use this. So you do have to use. You do have to remove the receiver box. Well, you don't have to, but probably easier. There it goes. So it came out. All right, that's off there. Beware, you got to remember when you take this out, you got to beware for that spot there. Now we take the Fusion, and now to figure out how you want this thing to go in there, you want the wires to go a certain way. You kind of got to make sure you don't want it pointing up. You kind of want it to the side. So we will try and do it like that. So we're going to line it up like that. About the best we can do. Pop it in there and test it. Now see, here the problem may be this may not fit because the 550 may be too big to fit in this thing. That is a possibility. There we go. It's going to work. It's going to be tight, but it's going to work. Why won't you go? Oh, there we go. Check that mesh. Looks pretty good there. All right, so let's pop the cover back on. Now this is going to be fun because of that. I should have just removed that, but it's okay. All right, so the where's it at? 2 receiver wires. So we will 2 wires need to go to the receiver. Let's try to shove them in here. I'm not going to do. Channel 2, channel 1. I wish they'd make these without this big old long antenna on here. I do. It gets on my nerves. Alright, so that is the fusion system is in. Now what we got to do is figure out where to put the power switch. Now, of course, this power switch also factors in as your port for your programming as well. So you got to be sure and put that in a good spot. I don't really know. I'm probably just going to put it right here because it's all one spot, and I can make that happen. That's a good little place for it. Some double-sided tape on it right there. I'm just going to put it on this corner right here. So the only batteries I have charged up at this moment are these little 1500 3-cell batteries. And I do not have a single strap in this thing. Huh. Oh well. Alright, so let's plug it up and let's see what we can do. Now this thing comes with a way to set up your program port. So you'll take it, and of course you always want to make sure you read negative is on this side of it, so you always want to be sure you plug that in correctly, like that. And then your program side is going to be the one with the little doodad right there, so you want to make sure you put that in correctly as well. Alright, then you press the power button and that will come on. Let's do that. RPM throttle matching is enabled. This is all default stuff. Item 2 is going to be lipo cells. You just do 2S. I'm going to change it to 3S, or no, 1 is auto, so just leave it there. So it'll know which kind of battery you put in it. Cutoff voltage is set at intermediate, which is fine. Thermal protection is set at 221 degrees Fahrenheit, which is fine. You probably go the lowest. That would be a better way to make sure this thing doesn't get too hot. Motor rotation is set at counterclockwise, but you can change that just in case depending on what truck you're in. BEC voltage is set at 6 volts from the get-go. I'm going to change mine to 7.4 because I have the 46 kilogram JX servo in here. Drag brake is set at 5, which is level 4. We're going to go to level 6, which is number 7. Drag brake rate is set at level 5. We're going to go to level 7. And then max reverse force is set at 100%, which is what you want anyway. And that's it. That's the only 9 things it has. So you hit OK, and it sets it, and you're good to go. Hold the power button, turns it off, pull out I always keep mine just plugged up just like that. It's easier that way. So, and also it comes with the little plug here to go into the port so the port doesn't get messed up. You don't want it to get clogged up with junk. So let's see if I got the motor settings correct. That's really... Alright, so I got everything installed. Fixed my rotation. Actually I got a dead channel on my GT5, so I had to bind to another channel. That's why my steering wouldn't work. I also drilled a little hole right here for this to zip tie right here so it will be there all the time. This is not really the greatest looking, but it'll work. I think it'll be fine. Those are kind of out of the way. Probably would have been a better idea maybe to put that. I mean, there's not really a good actual spot to put that. I mean, that's probably pretty good though. But so I zip tied the battery in right now for now. That's fine. Put it more towards the front to get a little bit of weight at the front. This thing has really no weight in it whatsoever. Even with the body on it, it's still very, very light. So I appreciate everybody watching. Thanks for watching, liking, subscribing. We've gained a whole bunch of people this past week. I thank everybody for that. I really think this is going to be a great brushless system for a lightweight truck. I got asked about TRX4s with brass, things like that. That's probably not the best idea. I don't think this thing can handle a bunch of weight. I mean, probably a stock TRX4 Sport that has minimal stuff on it as far as brass goes. Maybe you get away with a diff cover, stuff like that, and maybe some heavy wheels. That's probably about all you can probably do and get away with. So keep that in mind when you go to purchase one of these. They're mainly for trucks like these. This is probably about the only thing we're really going to do to it as far as that kind of mod goes anyway. Only thing maybe we'll do is drive shafts, depending on how heavy the next body that goes on this thing is going to wind up being. This would probably be good in a 10-2 that stays fairly stock. Probably, I mean, you know, things like that. You know, all the other G-made stuff, the lower, the Komodo and the sawback, things like that. It's probably really good in the sawback, to be honest with you. So keep that in mind when you go to purchase one of these. Also keep in mind this thing is a lot longer than a normal 540 motor that goes in some of these rigs. I mean, you're looking at a good extra, I mean, that's a good inch, you know, extra in the back of it. But if you've already put a 550 can in your stuff, this should fit fine. You see how tight it is. I mean, it's right there at it. It's also right there on the frame rail as well. So not too big of a deal. I think we'll be okay. I've got it pretty much smashed onto the wire. The servo wire is not going anywhere, so that's good. So this should work out great, and I love the fact that there's no ESC to take up space somewhere else. You know, it's one more thing, you know, in the way kind of deal. I like this is really clean. The other great thing is you could take this receiver, waterproof it, put it here, and then everything would be like right here instead of, then you'd have nothing on these rails, that kind of deal. So that's really cool. I like that. So like I said, thanks for watching, everybody. I appreciate it. We'll see you next time. So let's see how slow we can make this thing go. I'm not slowing it down. That is $50 on the trim throttle. Super slow. So all right, so let's go drive around, see what top speed is and all that good stuff. You hear it's super quiet. It's a little bouncy. My tires are. Reverse has got more punch. All right, so that's not what we come to see. So let's go drive around and see if we can get this thing. I think that more or less may be tires versus the system. I bet you can jam it up there. There you go. Yeah.